Welcome to another day in the Matrix of Waters Above Crypto. I'm sending you all love and high vibrations to start your week. I'm sure the Wolfpack is enjoying the summer solstice. Go out and enjoy Mother Nature today. Spend some time in the sun. Absorb that beautiful energy. So in today's video, I'll be following up on my last video that I released titled Crypto Market Bottom Exposed. We'll be starting with a recap of that key date, June 18th, that I mentioned in that video. And then I'll share what I'm looking out for this week regarding dates. And of course, I'll go over the charts of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP to do some technical analysis for the rest of the week. So if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out. And make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious beings to help grow our community. And for those of you that want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course. The link to my website can be found in the description box of this video and in the pinned comment below for access to the Mastermind course. And with that being said, let's take the red pill. So we're just going to quickly recap what has happened over the last couple of days. In my last video, I spoke about this key date of June 18th, and I'm just going to quickly recap a couple of the important pieces of data that I discussed in that video, a couple of the connections. And recently, in my last Red Pill podcast that I just released, it was sort of a part 2 to the ISO 222 special that I released 2 weeks ago. We went over a couple of those coins like Quant and Cardano, and in that episode, we really deep dived into a lot of the data regarding this specific date and all the connections to past market cycles and market bottoms. So for those of you that are interested in my more exclusive content, those Red Pill podcasts are in my Patreon at patreon.com/watersabove. And that episode was really in depth. I believe it was like an hour and 20 minutes. So we really did a deep dive into what was going on there. So in this weekly episode, I'm just going to recap a couple of the key things to discuss. And also, I would love to hear in the comments section some of your decodes, what you guys have been finding lately since following my work, and some of the connections that you're making to some of these big numbers that we're talking about every week. I would love to see what you guys have been finding. So really quickly, on this date, June 18th, which was a Saturday, the day of Saturn, we know that the standard date numerology was giving us the 21. And that 21 happening on a Saturday, and again, that is Saturn. And you could just see right here, Saturn giving us that 21. And we're going to be following a theme for this entire video, which is the number 21 and the number 69, the Yin Yang balance. That yin yang symbol and this balance in the market has been something that has just been showing up so much lately. And I'm sure those who watched my recent Red Pill podcast, you heard me talking a lot about the number 96 and 69 and, you know, the mirror of that number and how important it's been in the past couple of years, especially since we've entered the Shmita. So one quick thing to bring up is just all the 69 and 96 connections we're getting between this date and the end of Shmita. So you can see right here, this date actually gives us the day of the year being the 169th day of the year and days left in the year 196. The 69 and the 96, the mirror. And then as well, we see that the date numerology, the way that I like to do it, we're getting that 66 when you add up double digits. So these are the two forms of date numerology that I like to do before any reduction. That would be the standard date numerology, which is on this right here. And then you have the top one, which is whenever we get double digits, you add them as such. And I really like this calculator because it just breaks it all down for you. But the 6 is just an upside down 9. We know this. So that's 66, 96, 69. It's all the balance. And that's when you're just decoding, you start to see numbers a little bit deeper, you know, and it's like the number 33. When you turn around one of the other 3s and put those 3s together, you actually get an 8 or an infinity symbol. So I'll be breaking that down in a future video. But for that being said, we can see 169th day of the year. 196 days left in the year. And connecting that to the last day of Shmita, we have this being the 96 days left in the year and this being the 269th day of the year. How many 69 connections could you possibly have? And this 69 is not coincidental because this all ties back to Saturn. Like I've said before, Saturn gives you that 69, the yin yang. And remember that Elon Musk tweet that came out in October where he actually shared this picture, and you could see it's a guy laying with a girl in bed and Bitcoin being at 69,000 and ETH at the 4,200. And that's also not coincidental because that 420 number, it's been showing up quite a bit, and it even showed up in the charts recently. And I'll be discussing that later on. But more importantly, we can see right here that this was actually released publicly before Bitcoin even hit 69,000. And it pretty much hit 69,000 on the nose. So this guy, Elon, and you can see his picture right there. It's obviously a phallus. But anyways, this individual is being used to be a sock puppet for the New World Order as this liaison between, the retail investor and the elite, the apex predator. And he is doing a fantastic job because we have this division of people believing that on one side he's a good guy and on one side he's just an elite. And where I stand on it is it's irrelevant to me because I'll never let a celebrity or someone that I've never met before take my energy. So I could care less what this man's role is for the world. All I care about is my role in the world. And I'm focused on my energy. As a decoder, I just find all of this stuff as evidence, and it's important to consider and to not put any energy towards it. So just take it for what it is and decode accordingly. So we see that 69 connection again. And remember Elon, and we did a video about him a couple weeks back when he bought Twitter. So you could go rewatch that video if you want to get a little bit more data regarding Elon. But that is L, and L ties back to Saturn. Remember that really popular show that's on the world stage right now? It's called Stranger Things, and the main character is 11. She's L, like Elon. And remember, Warner von Braun actually wrote a book before Elon Musk was even born, talking about a man named Elon who would colonize Mars. So again, it's all scripted. Remember, Elon is turning 51 years old and Mars is giving you that 51. So I'm sure you're going to get a lot of things going on between this man and his quote unquote space exploration. His firmament exploration, as I like to call it. But anyways, coming back to that 69 number, it's pretty interesting how it's been showing up quite a bit. But let me get into a deeper connection that I made in that last video. So I was actually connecting this date of June 18th, the exact date that we recently watched Bitcoin come down to around $17,500 or so. That was the date that we saw the recent lows this upcoming Saturday. So if some of you are wondering why is Jordan talking about this date, well, it was because we just saw that big move to the downside. And that's historical because this was the first time ever in Bitcoin's history in over a decade where we've watched Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, maintain its all-time high, and then actually dip below the prior all-time high peak. This is the first time this has happened in now going on 2 cycles. So that's we're on our way to our 3rd halving event since this occurred, and it's pretty special to watch. So this was absolutely a critical time to see that date of June 18th. And since we've gotten a noticeable bounce that has brought us back to prices above the prior all-time high from the 2017 cycle. So that is why I'm paying a lot of attention to June 18th, and I'm sharing all these connections for you guys because I actually did talk about it in my last video. And one of the reasons why was this right here. The fact that this date connects to the start of Shmita, September 7, 2021, with 9 months and 11 days, the 9/11. And remember, we were talking about the number 21. Well, this date of June 18th gives us the 21 date numerology, and the day of the start of Shmita, September 7, 2021, remember that 21, was also the 21 standard date numerology. And if we're considering 9/11, this upcoming September will be the 21st anniversary of 9/11. Everything this year has been about that 9/11 and 11/9 ritual. We saw Terra Luna hit $119 before having a massive correction pretty much to zero. So 9/11, this is a number of ritual. We know this by now. We know the 19 is also a number of ritual. Like we just had the C word 19 change everything on the world stage. So this is a pretty amazing connection that we made a couple days actually before this event even occurred. We talked about this before the date of June 18th by pretty much maybe 3 to 4 days. So there was plenty of time. And 2 videos before that, we were talking about the 9/11 and the 11/9 connection. I would say probably going on 2 months to 3 months now. In every video, we've been talking about this big ritual. I even made a video called The Year of the Moon Key. And that was with the thumbnail of George Bush Jr. And he was the one that was, around as the sock puppet for that World Trade Center ritual, the 9/11 ritual. So let's continue, but I'm really happy to see all these connections coming to fruition before, and when they get here, they're bringing that impact. They're showing you the power of Gematria and these numerological and astrological connections to be made here. One other really amazing note about what's going on with this guy, Elon Musk, is let's go ahead and just type in his name for fun. So we have Elon Reeve Musk. We're not going to put in the FRS, but we could also see that that's giving you the 69. All right. So this is all, again, tied back to this man and him being this put on the world stage for the retail investor, for just normal people to assume this sort of position. So again, Bitcoin prediction to 69K, and we see Elon Reeve Musk giving us that 69 as yesterday, or the day of the 18th, was giving you that 69 in so many fashions. And again, all of this coming back to Saturn, who is L, and again, that is the 69. Okay, so let's continue on and talk about a couple more things. For one, we know that today is the solstice, and of course the solstice happening on the 21st day of June, coming back to that 21's theme, and today being the 21st of June, you could see right there that it is also a 69 date numerology. Coincidence? I think not. So we're aware that today is the longest day of the year. And let me just turn into this connection to Rosh Hashanah. Beautiful. So again, today being that 69 date numerology, and tomorrow actually being 96 days until the end of Shmita. Another 96-69 connection. This whole past week has just been packed with them. And remember, today is the start of Cancer. Cancer Zodiac. Cancer Zodiac's logo, the crab, but it is the 69. It's just amazing, man. It's really amazing, the symbology. And once you start tying in all of this, it's mind-blowing. It really is. So today being that start of the solstice, giving you that 69 date numerology. And then, of course, the day tomorrow giving you 96 days until the end of Shmita, with 96 days left in the year on the final date of Rosh Hashanah, before we have what is called the release. Remember, Shmita means release, the verb. It has everything to do with agriculture. And we know that Saturn is the god of harvest. He is the god of agriculture. He is the father time, or the king of earth. So he's the king of the simulacrum, of the matrix. That's his role. He's the one that walks with you from birth till the day you die. If you believe that he is a bad guy, or you want to demonize him, then your world, or your reality, your simulated reality, will have a negative energy, a negative vibrational frequency. When you relinquish this idea of the good and bad, and the demonization of a particular mythology or whatever's going on here in your belief systems, when you let go of that, then Father Time becomes your teacher. He becomes somebody who tells you to get rid of this idea of the identity reality that we're all cast into by ego. He actually helps you see that there is no time, and that there's no such thing as linear time, and that our reality is not a linear reality. It is actually infinite consciousness, and the human body is the perfect vessel to harbor infinite consciousness. I know that's a little deep, but you need to feel what those words truly mean, because a lot of the time when we talk about Saturn or we talk about any of these things regarding mythologies, I'll get some comments showing up of people that are clearly going through some traumas of perhaps religion or cults that they've been a part of their whole life, and they need to see that there is more to this. Okay, speaking of the yin yang and that 69 and that symbolism, it's all about showing you that there's something more to duality. It's not just about the white within the black, it's about the black within the white, and there's motion. When you start to spin the yin yang, you notice that it becomes one. It becomes this unity consciousness. It is not about the linear sense or about this duality consciousness. There's something deeper here. So this balance point that we're getting, when Bitcoin hit 69,000, that was on purpose. That was a ritual for it to happen on the exact date that it happened, by the way. It happened on the 10th of November of 2021. This date, the 111, this date right here ties to the 314th day of the year. 314, that's pi. That's full circle. That has everything to do with the yin yang. That's the symbol. It's a circle. And of course, this is incredible how this day left 51 days in the year. And again, that's tying back to Elon Musk, who's about to turn 51 years old. And remember, he was born in 1971. That was the year before a Shmita year, but not just any Shmita. That was the last Jubilee. If you remember, that was the Nixon shock. That was when the world reserve currency, the US dollar, was removed off the gold standard. That changed the whole world as we know it. That actually was a Jubilee year. A lot of people believe 2015 was a Jubilee year. That is not correct. That is what a lot of really poor decoding rabbis have told people in the masses. And remember, everything that's popular is wrong. 2015 was not a Jubilee year. We are about to enter the Jubilee in 2023. This was the Jubilee year. This is the Shmita of all Shmitas. And if people are unaware of this now, you could totally go back and watch my videos over the last year, and you're going to be picking up so much data regarding that. But it is not a coincidence at all that this man was born in 71, leading up to that Shmita year, which, of course, we had the Nixon shock, and that changed everything for finances on a global level. And now, because of all of that implementation of change that's happened in 1971 through 1973, we've actually been noticing that in the past 5 years or so, it's catching up to us. And now we're seeing the hyperinflation. We're seeing, the fall of empires. We're seeing power and the power hierarchy as we know it get restructured. We're seeing things like cryptocurrency and virtual reality and all this expanse technology hitting the world stage all at once. And who is the face of all of this? This man. He's the one that's saying AI robots are a problem, but meanwhile, he's developing Neuralink. You see this? This is all a look here, don't look there. It's about worshiping idols. You never want to give another man your energy. Save your energy for yourself. And too many people have given this man too much of their energy. Instead, they could be decoding him and decoding the symbolism that's going on around his reality, and you'll see what his role is for this new world. So, couple last things to mention. Of course, we have this upcoming 23rd, and final thing to say about this is when we connect the 23rd of June to the end of Shmita, we're going to be getting 3 months and 3 days, the 33. That 33 is pretty big. One other big connection behind the 33 is simulacrum, giving us that 33 in Chaldean. Another thing, speaking of Neuralink and what we call mind control, which is what the word government means, governare mentis, that means mind control. And that's 137 in English ordinal, the 33rd prime number. I hope you guys are enjoying all these connections in this video today. So that 33, and we're embarking upon that in 2 days. We're going to be 3 months and 3 days away. And that 95 and 33 connection comes back into a very important cryptocurrency called Ethereum. Okay, so with Ethereum, we're getting that 95 right there in the English ordinal, and then again we have that 33 when we have just the ticker symbol ETH. All right, 95, 33. It is also, we're seeing pi right here, the 134. That's the anagram of pi, the 3.14. So that's one more other connection. But I'm interested in this date, this upcoming Thor's Day, the day of Jupiter. This could be something to consider. And like I got a hunch about the 18th in my last video and a lot of other dates, it's because I'm making these deeper connections. So let's see what happens with ETH on this day. And also let's just see in regards to this 33, the number of transmutation. Okay, so this is another final thing to be bringing up is I did talk about this Cancer connection right here with the zodiac, but just remember whenever we're going into zodiac, you do want to look into sidereal as well. So I believe we're still in Gemini regarding that. And again, Gemini giving you that 33. So it's amazing to see these connections as well when you start looking into sidereal astrology and the Gematria tides, all of that. We also got that 57 right there, just like Elon Musk giving us that 57. And I believe this man's going to be tied to a lot of the change regarding the upcoming ISO 222 rollout, because he has all of this symbology of the X in everything he does. He had X.com, which became PayPal. He has SpaceX. He named his last child X, literally, and that's the 24th. That's the 24th letter in our alphabet, in the alpha beta. So this X is tied to this man, and it's the cross. It's about keeping people tethered to this physical reality. It's about not letting go. It's about a soul trap. That's what that X is all about, the cross. So go learn a little bit more about that, and you're going to be pretty blown away by just these basic the symbolism and how it's all tied biblically and to this more esoteric principle. So let's get into some of the TA, because we went over a lot of nuggets of wisdom. Let's look at this chart really quickly. So this is an experimental chart that I have. I'm going to be turning off this indicator right here. And I just want you to see that I pulled a bearish fib from this level over here. We have this crown top that was going back to the all-time high of April 2021. We had a big correction. So what I did was I pulled a bearish fib retrace from this low level right here when we started the breakout into the current all-time high, which is $69,000. And as you can see, when I do it in this form, when I go from swing low to swing high, we're getting the 1618 showing up right there at 17,544. Perfect retest of the 1618, the golden ratio. So most people, when they use their fibs, they're pulling from swing high to swing low and from left to right. We're doing that in reverse, from swing low to swing high, left to right. And when you do that, you could get a really quality bearish retrace. I'll be adding this in a technical analysis video to my exit strategy blueprint very soon. I'll be breaking that down thoroughly. But one other thing I wanted to share was how this actually this aligns perfectly with this firmament dome that I have up here. So if you look, this firmament dome going from the all-time high to this rejection over here, multiple rejections, and then when we broke out of it, this was a little bit of a bull trap because it followed with a break of structure into new lows, back tested this firmament, came up a little bit, and then once we got rejected at the 888 fib, which is a Fibonacci retracement level that I've shared with the world, it's very unique and it's been very helpful for me. I give lessons on that in my exit strategy blueprint as well. So once we got rejected at that area, we came down to the 1618. That's a typical setup for a short. That's how it goes. And when we got that level, again, back testing this firmament dome. So this firmament curve that I'm going to leave on this chart is because it's been working. Now, if it goes any deeper, it would either have to happen really soon, or this is actually, in fact, your back test of the lower level for this cycle. Again, that would be like me saying in a sophisticated way, the bottom for now. And we could show a couple things on this chart as well. I have another big experimental firmament, which goes back to the C-word crash. So if you expand out, you could see this is a pretty clean firmament dome. Going from all of these rejections after this V-shape kind of move for the C-word crash back in 2020, all these rejections, entering this firmament dome, coming up to the top of it, having 3 perfect rejections on this as a resistance, all of the all-time highs that were coming in the year of 2021, pretty much within reason of the actual all-time high we have. And then again, look at that, riding it the whole way down, and then this final rejection here back in June, early June. bringing us down to this red trend line. Now you could see this red trend line is in alignment with this little cluster of trading that happened right here before Bitcoin finally decided to really break an all-time high and enter what's called price discovery. So if I zoom out, you're going to see that that red line aligns perfectly right here with this level of the prior all-time high of 2017. So what this all means is once Bitcoin broke 29K, it was thin air between 29K and like 18K. And that was something that was discussed. So the fact that we've moved down to that level, it's just something that needed to happen because there was no trading range in this entire section. There was no open trades. So now we're in the process of potentially filling that out. And what this could mean is leading into this upcoming new moon, this is where people could start really paying attention to the more experimental TA here. Going up into the new moon, we could actually bash into this top again around 25K and then have a little bit more fill out into the full moon of July and then have a little bit of, we'll see how it goes from there. But I'm just letting you know that the next move could actually be another rejection at this firmament leading into around this upcoming, not this next 7 days or so. Like, I don't know if it'll be that powerful, but it could be something like give it a window, 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll see how this goes. But we have yet to actually trade in this whole section. This whole section has no trading. And if you use this tool on Premium TradingView called the VPVR volume profile, there's nothing here. You could see this little divot right here where you could see a lot of trading range coming in between 36K and like 40. We even have a little bit coming in around 47K. That was the last big rejection before we came back down. And then lately we've actually back tested this VPVR level around here. Or sorry, we've back tested that prior all-time high level, excuse me. So VPVR is actually showing up higher than where we're trading right now in this current fractal, somewhere around $39,000. And that would probably be a high level to get through if we were to break through this firmament. But I don't want to jump ahead of any thing and give any hopium right now, because back testing this level was something most people couldn't stand. I believe, outside of the wolf pack, there was probably a lot of people that quit crypto over the past week. Rest in peace. But if you're getting upset and, leaving this whole sector because of these types of moves, then, you're not really sure of what investing actually is. This is nothing. ETH can continue down to $500, and I'll get into that in a moment, but I'm just letting people know that this could get worse. At the end of Shmita, it could get worse. And that's why I drew these two red lines, because there is a possibility of not holding this 19K level and breaking down further, and breaking down further would essentially align you with the next layer of trading, which would be this little peak back here in the summer of 2019, somewhere around 12 to 13,000. And we'll get to that in the future as we get closer to the end of Shmita, but that would be the big trading range to consider. If we broke this level of 19K, it would probably be filling out this level for the true market cycle bottom. For now, what we've done, it looks pretty compelling of a bottom just because of all the indicators that we've been talking about. Look at this weekly RSI right here, relative strength index at an all-time low. It's pretty important, guys. When you see RSI at an all-time low on an asset that's this scarce, it's pretty wild. So what I would like to see is probably a move back up into this firmament, somewhere rejected around 25, 26K, and see where it goes from there. The fact that it came down this fast, it can move up just as fast. And then not being able to hold the daily at this 19K level, you're probably going to swipe down into the 16s. Let's move on to ETH. So ETH, we saw the exact same thing. So what I did was we have our horizontal trading range, we have our buying climax, a selling climax, and then a up thrust after a potential distribution. And what that looked like was a fake out bull trap all-time high. And that's exactly what it became. Because if I pull the bearish fib from this level up to this swing high, you can see once we broke structure, we quickly drowned down to the 1618. Exactly around $888, the 888. And remember, 3/8 is the number 24, and 24 is the zodiac logo of Jupiter. X is the 24th letter, and we were just talking about that with Elon Musk and all of those connections there. But there's thin air between this level and this level. Now that we've filled out this wick right here that came in around January 12th, which is funny because it's the 1-2 date in the 2-1 year. It's like a big palindrome. Anyways, when we came down to fill out this level, now we have a big level of trading between 880 and all the way up here at $1,700. So this is a lot to fill out that we haven't filled out. This is a good thing. To see ETH come down into these levels perfectly at a technical level using the fibs and breaking through this, it probably drowned out a lot of people. But I mean, this is a short-term accumulation cycle that we could be anticipating before coming up into that 17 or even 1900 level before a rejection at the 888. Then we would have to see what happens at the end of Shmita, because this could very easily break down and head right into this territory right here around $400. The reason being is that's pretty much where our levels are regarding any horizontal trading ranges. Let me show you right here. You have that peak after this full bull to bear market, and then we also see this little peak right here before the C-word crash. So this level of around $300 is very critical. And if you look at it, let's just take all things into consideration. We have the launch of Ethereum public. We see gravitates up to this red line, trades around this red line, new all-time high. Then it breaks down to the red line. Once it can't hold it, comes really low, a full 95% loss from top. Then after that, it gravitates up to the red line, rejection, again, double top rejection, C-word crash. And then once we got above it, we back tested it right here. Look, back test and boom. Okay, so this is a very important level for ETH, $300. And it's all about the threes with ETH because, again, ETH giving you that 33. All right. So that is a really important piece of analysis for the long term on Ethereum. And if Ethereum wants to do that, come down to $400 to $300, it's going to send a lot of altcoins to zero. All right. It's not a joke. It's very serious. The coins that I suspect will be unscathed from this will be coins such as the ISO 222 coins and any coins that have ties to logistics on a government or a really large scale level. Global logistics, for instance, like with VeChain, that would be one of those exceptions. But outside of that, a lot of those shit coins that are especially ERC20 coins will go to zero. If this move happens, and I suspect if this move does happen, it's going to be going down into Q4 of 2022. It'll most likely be going down into the end of September all the way into the end of the year. Let's just call it this whole little time frame. And I should leave that there, actually, just this little box for the future. I could actually draw a pretty clean box somewhere around this time frame. That would probably be the key level. And it's also the 2618 off of this bearish fib. So let's go down to XRP, and XRP is in a similar scenario where it's back-tested key levels of what I would like to call the key levels of this horizontal trading range that's been going on now for 4 years, all right? And I know this might look a little confusing, but here we are, where you can see this was the first peak for XRP back from its first cycle. So it had this amazing bull run back in 2016, 2017, straight line. Sideways, another big double top, like it was a double bull run for XRP. And a couple coins actually did this. Bitcoin actually did this back in 2015 or 2014. I believe it was 2014. Ever since we actually made this move back in 2017, this has been a key level around 27 to 33 cents. That is the key level we keep gravitating down towards. And that's pretty obvious if you just look at this chart. You can see that that's where it wants to keep either being magnetized up, or when we get above it, we like to come back down. So this now should be the full move that we've gotten. I mean, if it gets bloodier than this, it would be around 27 cents to 26 cents and then 22. So my all-time best level to buy XRP at would probably be somewhere around 22 cents at the end of Shmita. And we'll keep, covering this as the months go by. But this is a buying opportunity like ever. If I could ever say there's a buying opportunity, this is getting pretty incredible at this point. all the chances that XRP has been giving people. So I'm personally going to hold off until we get closer to the end of Shmita. But for now, I'm just tracking this because we're getting better and better at our TA each month, and we're getting better at decoding and combining the two. And now that we've been doing this for over a year, going on a year and a half, for me, it's been about 2.5 years to 3 years behind the scenes. You know, we're getting better and better and better. And what's most important is it's the community's lack of being emotionally reactive to this. We're saving our emotions for real life, for reality, and for helping each other. You know, that's really what we should be doing right now, is building community, coming together with people who are like-minded, high vibrational beings who are seeking to empower themselves and each other during this time, because the world is about to get very, very dicey as we get closer to the end of Shmita, and we need each other right now. That's what matters most. Not getting all caught up in Twitter and all the fucking drama and the theatrics that are going on in the world stage. Stay focused on what matters most, which is self and community. And that is what my focus is. My focus is to get better every day at what I do, to continue to work on my expansion mastermind course, to stay busy designing the best unique material I could possibly deliver to everyone, and staying focused, because every day is an opportunity to get better at your craft. And while the masses are getting shaken out of this market, you should be taking that as a sign to get ready for some of the best opportunities to rebuild portfolios ever. We're talking about post.com bubble type, charts. And that's something that we should all be getting excited for, because one theme that I saw from everyone back around here is everyone, when this move happened, when the coins started going up for all the charts, everyone was saying, I wish I bought, I wish I bought, I wish I was buying. So during a bear market cycle, people are very apprehensive to buy. They're very apprehensive to accumulate. Why is that? Because they're extremely emotional beings. Don't be emotional towards a market. The market doesn't care about your emotions. So if you're accumulating fiat right now, you're storing it on the sidelines for these big, opportunistic dips, you need to take advantage of them, or else you're going to be the type of person in the coming years that once these charts start moving up again, you're going to want to FOMO back in, when you could have been using this long, arduous, boring, sideways, bloody time frame, this whole move right here, to be in accumulation. And the ones who really win this game in the long term are the accumulators, not the ones who are trading actively, not the ones that are buying, tops and trying to get fancy with this market. It's the ones that they have a developed investment thesis. So I'm going to leave it at that. I just wanted to give you guys an incredibly packed video today with all of this data and all of this information. I will be on later today with Coach JV over at 3T Warrior Academy. Me and him will be getting together to do a little podcast. And then this Friday, I'll have my live stream. I'm excited to hang out with all of you guys. I do have the upcoming Red Pill podcast will be kind of going back to normal near the end of the month. And then next month is going to be incredible. It's going to be packed full of collaborations. And I'm really excited to share all of the new things that I've been working on behind the scenes with you guys. So appreciate every single one of you. Go enjoy that sun today. Much love.